So we have a power probe that was sent to us, and we're going to be checking out if we like it and if we think that you guys should buy it. So this is the KGZ 200 or Z200 power probe. Does a bunch of stuff. If you're going to be buying this, I hope you understand some of it. It definitely has the instructions and whatnot in there, but I'm hoping that most of you that are going to be doing something like this are somewhat competent when it comes to car electrical. If you're not, there's definitely a bunch of other videos that can show you, but if you buy one of these, or if you look at their website, or even I think Amazon sells it, you can read everything that it does before purchasing. We're going to see if this thing actually is worth buying. So it's got, actually these are some nice little probe things, little tiny alligator clips. These are piercers, so you can put them around a wire, and that little metal piece pierces the wire so that, you know, you can just probe it without damaging anything. We got some long alligator clips and little extensions to put in here. This is for the outlet in the car. Comes with a battery that's actually really nice right now. Your instructional booklet. We got some more back probes of 45 degrees, 90 degrees, straights, and whatnot. This one is a circuit breaker finder. I'm guessing this is for homes and stuff because we ain't doing much circuit breaker stuff in cars. Extension cables. So they do have a long extension cable for it. If you want to know the specifics on how long it is, like I said, you can just read the thingies, but it looks really long, which is good because you don't want to be hung up on anything when using these things. And it actually has two. You can change the length, which is nice because I don't know if you've had any of these, but I've had some where they're like, it's a 25-foot cable, but you only need 4 feet of it right now. You still have the 25 feet with you where this one splits up. I'm gonna do a fun thing with this that I like to do with some tools that we review. The fun thing is I'm gonna see if I can figure it out without looking at anything. If I can figure it out without looking at anything, then I think it's very intuitive, and I think that's a really good product. If it seems very confusing and I have to go to the book, putting a strike against it, but doesn't mean that it doesn't work well. It's just that you can't just grab it and go. So we're hooking the battery up so we can try some stuff and see what happens. And I don't know what's going to happen. I made sure the key's out of it. Good news, nothing's caught on fire yet. We haven't turned the key on, but everything else is good, so continue to trying to get this thing to starting. This car is a car that we're working on, and the dude did a V8 swap in a V6 Mustang and then couldn't get it running or gave up partway through. I'm not entirely sure how it went. And what better thing to see if a power probe works on a car that we know 100% doesn't work. Okay, we're gonna see how this is just hooking it on the battery and what happens. Powered on, that's good. All right, so usually the power button, what we got here? That's frequency. Oh, this is a select button, not a power button. Got ohms test, diode test, DC voltage, AC voltage. Okay, so then what if we do, that is, it seems like battery voltage. This is, I'm guessing, checking for ground. All right, so we have these things, and I'm guessing this is where we can apply power and so on and so forth. I'm gonna grab my voltmeter, and we're gonna see what that thing does, because so far, it seems pretty easy to use. So we're gonna test DC voltage first. So that is power. Okay, so this is our live power. And then if we do the down, we should have ground, so that we can put ground to things. Yes. Okay, so this is our probe. So we'll take one out of here and see what this does, because my guess is it should just plug into here, and it do. So we got that. And then the only other thing is, I'm curious, because this has an alligator clamp, if the little probes, these ones, because they also have a different end. So I'm wondering if what they want us to do is hook these up to the wire. Let's say we were going to use this one because that's got the one probe. So would we have to take this, put it in that one, and then alligator clip to the other one? That would be my guess, but I'm not a fan of the alligator clips being open. We'll see how that works. It would be nice if they just had an alligator clip that went onto something and then, you know, not leaving that open. Because let's be honest, if you're gonna be testing stuff, you wanna kind of leave this in access, and you might be under a dash, or you might be somewhere else. I mean, I have other leads that have the things on both sides, but we're testing this kit, not all of my tools. Yeah, so that works still. So we've got ground there, we've got power, perfect. This is a new battery, so it's saying 10 volts. I'm wondering what's going on with this battery, or if we do have a parasitic draw on this Mustang right now. Because yeah, it's saying 10 volts right now. All right, as for the initial part of it, this seems very easy to use. That's off, that's on. I like that it just has the one toggle and then a selection button. All right, let's move on to back to the car to try and test things. I'm sure there's going to be something, but we're going to go key on and once again check for any kind of smoke or any of that other stuff. We got lights, all that other stuff. All right, what you got? No DTCs. Interesting. That is completely loose. All right, we have no TTCs, which is very interesting because we know the coolant temp sensor is not plugged in. That should throw something. I also don't know, this thing was obviously auto, so I'm not sure if it'll even crank right now. It will not crank. All right. Let's go see what we can find in the starter circuit. Those are hooked up. We got the starter on. That's not right. Bro, what? Ooh. I wonder, what do we have on this side for ground? Looks like a relay to me. We've got our circuit probe. I've been calling it something else, which is not this brand, circuit probe. So we have it on, right? Let's see here, 12.4 volts, perfect. We're just going to hook this up to the other side of the neutral safety switch. And it actually, before even doing anything, it says that there is ground on that side. So we know that that is a grounded circuit. So key is on, and if everything goes right, when I do this, it should try to start. It works! All right. You know, there's other options on here, and there's the resistance option, and we can just take a peeky at that. I mean, this is the screen. It seems pretty nice, right? We can, well, let me just undo our starter right now. So we got full voltage there, plug this in, and I mean, it's got, you know, this is AC volts. It has frequency, min, max of what, you know, voltage you saw while you're looking at AC stuff. We've got ohms, which I'm not sure why it's saying OL. Oh, I clicked down and now it's 74, which is pretty much what our Fluke was saying. And I don't know if you know, but that's like a $600 or $700 voltmeter. So this one being accurate enough for that. I don't know what up does. Apparently up still sends voltage, which is actually interesting because I've never seen something where it'll show you ohms while putting voltage through something. That's cool, because it didn't change, it just said 73. Diode test, we're not testing a diode here. I really don't use this one much, so that's up to you. I'm sure it works, but I don't have anything to test a diode with. Now, most people that will get this are like, I want a power probe, and they might be doing this exact same thing. Like, I need to see why my starter's not working. Well, guess what? It'll make your starter work. I will say, with how easy this thing is to use, for what it is and for what most people will be using it for, I'm going to say that it's phenomenal. I will say that I would recommend it, because really you just want it to take voltage from there through here to where you need it to be. This is without the extension cord on it, and we can pretty much get to the back of the car already. So this might be ready for buses if you're going to be doing that. I'm sure, you know, doing house stuff, it'll work fine with the AC stuff, but we don't do any of that here. We have a link for them. There's an Amazon link. Overall, this KGZ Z200 circuit probe, I think, is worth it. If you're looking for one and you don't want to spend big bucks, I mean, I don't have one that's big bucks, and I'm going to probably use this one until it breaks. So keep watching our other videos if you want to see how long this lasts, but the way that it looks and how it's been, and I actually dropped it once, I think it'll last a pretty good time. So if you're in the market, this is probably the one you should get.